One would have thought that I would look nicer for this video, but honestly my life is just in such chaos right now. I could not be bothered. Hi, I've been putting this video off all day. Honestly, I've been putting this video off for several days, but I finally have to do it just because I have to talk about it. So here we are. Today is an announcement video. I am still kind of like about it. I'll explain later. And I'm trying my best to be positive, but sometimes being positive is hard. I don't want to come off as like ungrateful or not excited, but as I explain through this, you'll see that I am kind of iffy about things. This video is an announcement that in, I can't count, let's see, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, in 19 days, I will be back working for Disney again. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me talk about this, so this isn't like new information, this isn't like super shocking, people knew that it was coming, but as of today, which is August 27th, I put it off as long as I could accepting this, I have accepted a contract with Disney Cruise Line. I applied back in July, like early July. I'm gonna have probably 2 videos coming out. I think I'm gonna split them up just because they're really long. But I'm gonna have some videos coming up that explain the whole process. So you're probably gonna be getting 3 videos a week now until like middle of September. So for the next like 3 or 4 weeks, just because I have a lot of content to put out about this. I started back in July when I applied. I interviewed July 12th with Disney. I pretty much got an offer on July 12th, and that's when my dashboard updated, and I've just been going back and forth with medical for a month and a half, which is not shocking. That's kind of how it works. If you know the cruise line process, this is just kind of how cruise line works. I have my offer pulled up here officially. This video will be posted the same day that my Instagram post came out, so you're probably coming to this video from Instagram, so hi. Welcome. I will explain to you what my contract is, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail about why I'm not screaming right now. So, I don't know which order to do this in. I guess I'll explain what was going to happen first. So, in my first meeting, they told me it'd be a 6-month contract. I said that's totally fine. And I said I don't want to be out of Europe, which I can't be out of Europe anyways because I worked in the States before, so that was totally fine. And I said I wanted to be out of Florida because everyone I know is in Florida. And right now everything's weird with COVID, and I don't know how things are gonna go, and I'll be doing videos kind of updating as I know more information. But with COVID, you're not allowed to get off the boat. But theoretically, before my 6 months were up, you would get to go off the boat, so like twice a month or something like that. You would have like a 3-4 hour gap in Port Canaveral, which is like an hour from the parks. I could go hang out with people, try and sneak like a quick trip to like Magic Kingdom in, because you have all the regular perks of a Disney employee. So I told them that, and Liam, who you guys have seen before on the channel, he is on the fantasy. There's a guy who I did my 2018 program with. He's in the fantasy. I've seen a couple people on the dream, and then there's one Canadian girl on the magic, and I can't do the magic, that's in the UK. So I was kind of like, okay, I'll be on the dream of the fantasy. They're both out of Port Canaveral. Fantasy does 7 days, and the dream does 3 and 4 days. Okay, the dream's already going. The fantasy starts with regular guests like this week, I think. So that's what was in my brain. And I was like, okay. First, I freaked out because Liam has to do a quarantine. He's in quarantine right now. By the time you see this video, I think he'll still be in quarantine. But first I was like, well, I'm not gonna be able to see anyone because I'm in quarantine, but at least I'll be in Orlando, I guess. And then my offer came through, and I was put on the Wonder. I fully sobbed, which is like so dramatic now that I'm thinking about it. But if you don't know, the Disney Wonder is one of the smaller, older ships. The Magic and the Wonder are the small ships, and the Dream and the Fantasy are the big ships. And the Wonder normally goes to Alaska. And that's why I was freaking out, because things have changed with COVID, which I'll explain in a minute. But originally all I knew about the Wonder was Alaska, and if you look up the Wonder, the ports that it tells you are like Alaska, Victoria, and Vancouver. And I lived in Vancouver for like 7-8 years. I have no desire to go to Vancouver as a port, and a lot of people work on ships because it's like a fun opportunity to travel. So that's why I was initially bummed. Also, my home port was San Diego. which is hilarious because for years and years I was like, oh my god, I want to work in California, but like Disneyland, not like a random port, San Diego. So I panicked and I cried to my mom because this was literally the worst case scenario. I begged them to have any contract length, any start date, anything, and they didn't have anything on the dream or the fantasy, so I just had to take it. And then I found out it is because 2 of those weeks are a 2-week hotel quarantine, which I knew people were doing hotel quarantines, but it's because they weren't fully vaccinated yet. I am fully vaccinated, but I'm guessing Liam only has to do a 3-day because he's in Florida, where their lovely governor, don't even get me started. Florida government stance on COVID and the California government stance on COVID are very different. So yeah, that's about it. So I guess I'll give you dates now. Like I said, on the Disney Wonder, my arrival date is September 15th, so that will be my travel date. So I'll be flying into San Diego September 15th, and then my embark date is October 1st. So that's 2 weeks, a 2-week quarantine. My embark port is San Diego. Like I said, my debark port is also San Diego, and my debark date is March 18th, 2022. I think it's this long because I was looking through the itineraries, and basically the ship moves around a lot. And I have to get off at March 18th because the ship is not in San Diego for like 3 months in between that, and it does this like huge 14-day Panama Canal cruise back to San Diego, and then it gets back to San Diego on March 18th, so pretty much it just leaves me. Once it's done, its journey back to California. Taylor, bless her soul, made me a little Excel spreadsheet with all of my dates to give you more information. I'm shocked because, like I said, the fantasy and the dream is where everyone that I know is on, and those are out of Florida, and they're both in the Bahamas. So the dream does Nassau and Castaway Cay, which is their private island, and the fantasy does like one stop in Mexico, and then does Jamaica, British Virgin Islands, US Islands, Grand Cayman, and Castaway Cay, I think. And then some of their cruises are changed to be double dips. I think a lot of the cruises are changed to be double dips at Castaway Cay, which is also why I was bummed because I really wanted to work on the island. That's like one of the big things that I was excited for, and now I'm only on the island like 4 times, I think, max. But this is my book, thank you Taylor, and I'm just gonna give you kind of a little bit of a breakdown. You can look at this online if you want to stalk me, but this is what we're doing. So October 1st to November 5th, they're all Mexican Riviera and Baja cruises out of San Diego. So those go to places like Puerto Vallarta, Cabo. They are West Coast Mexican cruises out of San Diego. The nice thing is like almost all of these are Halloween on the High Sea cruises, which will be fun because I really like Halloween. So it'll be nice to see like all the Halloween merch and the Halloween decor and stuff like that. Obviously we don't know how much we're actually gonna get to see of the ship because of COVID, and we don't know if we'll ever get to see any ports because of COVID too. So who knows, but that's what I'm doing from October to early November. November 6th to November 19th, there's a 14-day Panama Canal cruise. So the boat is doing a one-way cruise from San Diego to Texas. And then from there, your home ports, which is from San Diego to Galveston, Texas. And I'm in Texas for a very long time. So November 19th through to February 2nd, I'm out of Texas. I'm really not excited about this. This is gonna be a very long time of just being in Texas. These are in the Bahamas, and a lot of them are very merry Christmas time cruises, which I am excited for because I'm missing Christmas and Halloween in the park, so at least I get it on the ship. But these cruises go to a bunch of different places. They do 4-day, 6-day, like on rotating. So the 4 days go to Cozumel and have 2 days at sea, and then the 6 days do Key West and then Castaway Cay and then have 2 days at sea. So it's pretty much that over and over again in circles. And then what I'm actually kind of excited for is February 2nd, your home port changes to New Orleans, and then February 2nd to March 4th, which is over Mardi Gras, because Mardi Gras is like early March, we do New Orleans cruises. They aren't like Mardi Gras themed cruises, they're just Western Caribbean cruises out of New Orleans during Mardi Gras. And these cruises do Georgetown, Cozumel, Georgetown, Cozumel, and Datesy. So spending a lot of time in Cozumel during this 6 months. And then it does another 14-day Panama Canal cruise back to San Diego. And then, like I said, it drops me off March 18th in San Diego and I'm done. So not what I was expecting, not really what I had signed up for. So I am kind of bummed, I'm not gonna lie. We'll see. I'm not saying that I didn't have any other options, but like I am moving out of this apartment literally in like 2 days from when you see this. And I don't have a job, so I don't really have any other options. So here we are. Also, did I say what I'm doing? I'm working merchandise, which I was also excited about because on the big ships there's like 4 or 5 different store options. Then you get to work the island. The little ship there's like 2. You got like Mickey's Mainsail and Whitecaps. That's it. I'm excited because it'll be something like interesting. I'm mostly just worried that there's gonna be a really small team because of COVID, because if there's only like 1,400 people on the big ships right now compared to 4,000, I can't imagine how few people are gonna be on the little ships. So that'll be interesting. So I'm nervous, but I am excited. I think it just hasn't hit me yet that it's happening like in less than 3 weeks. I think I was just so set on the Bahamas, and in my mind, like I've watched so many videos of people who worked on the Dream and the Fantasy, and I've seen so much about how the schedule works, and like you do like stock on your port days and you have like this time off, and it was just like so much easier to plan around. And now I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna work having 3 home ports, and none of the ports are Port Canaveral, which is like Disney owned, if you didn't know. So like none of the ports are owned by Disney, so I don't know like where you can get off. And it's so weird, like San Diego's port kind of looks like Miami, where it's like in the city, like there's like skyscrapers that you can see like from the port, it's in the city. So it's just like very weird for me to wrap my head around. I just wasn't prepared. So yeah, panicking a little bit to see what I'm gonna do before. Obviously I had this giant trip planned end of October into November for Halloween and Christmas originally, and I was gonna go see stuff for the 50th, and then they said they were retiring Happily Ever After, so then I like panicked about that because I wanted to go see Happily Ever After before it ended October 1st. So I'm trying to sneak in a little trip before October 1st and just end up paying like $1,000 to go for like 3 days, which is probably not the smartest move considering I like, you know, haven't had a job for 3.5 months by then. But it is what it is, and we will see. That's it. I'm still just like kind of in shock. Thinking is hard. That's it. That is my official announcement. In who knows how many days. I'm sure there'll be an Instagram countdown, so it'll pay more attention than I can. But in however many days, I'll be on a boat, and you'll be getting a lot more interesting content. I don't know how it's gonna work with like uploading and vlogging. Disney is a lot more strict than other cruise lines and other companies in general with social media policies, so you like can't see anything backstage. And if I can't go anywhere backstage, that'll be interesting, because like the people right now on the Dream and the Fantasy, they didn't have guests before. There will already be guests on the Wonder by the time I get there, because the first cruise is on the 24th of September and I won't be there until October 1st. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I'm gonna try and sneak a little Disney World trip in before, just to go see Happily Ever After, and we'll go from there. You're gonna get a bunch of explanation videos and moving vlogs and stuff before then, but this video is gonna go up first because obviously this is kind of time sensitive. And then while I'm in quarantine for 2 weeks, for the last 2 weeks of September, who's driving like that? And then get ready for like a lot of videos while I'm in quarantine for 2 weeks, the end of September. So things are coming. My camera is about to cut me off because I'm talking too long. My camera did cut me off, but all my links to do everything else are down below. Please subscribe if you want to follow along, and I'll see you guys with a video on probably Monday. Bye.